My little girl is the kind of kid that doesn't get in trouble at school at all for nothing. Always the teacher's pet. The teachers always love her. And I aggravate her a little bit about it, and just give her a little grief just because she always is Miss Little Perfect. I really can't say nothing because all my teachers adored me too. And I never really got in trouble much until late middle school, high school. It's just because I like to defend people because I don't like bullies. But she gets in the car and she says, "Mommy, I got lunch detention today." What? You got in trouble? You can imagine my surprise. I said, "What in the world did you do? Did you get accused of somebody else talking or something? What happened?" She said, "Mommy," she said, "my teacher even called me a liar and said I backtalked too." I'm like, "You backtalking?" I was like, something ain't right. So I said, "What in the world did you do?" She said, "Well, I was sitting in class and I raised my hand and asked to go to the bathroom and the teacher said no." She said, "And I'm not the kind of kid like the other ones that just go for nothing to goof off." She said, "I really needed to go. My belly was hurting." She said, "The teacher said no." So I sat there and I waited and she said, "The next thing I know, I tooted." A few seconds later, kids caught wind of it. It was awful. So they were all, of course, horse laughing. And you could hear the sound of it too. So they were rolling about that. Teacher immediately looks at her and says, "You did that with your hands and you're in trouble for it." She said, "I didn't do that with my hands. I told you I need to go to the bathroom. You wouldn't let me go." She said, "Well, you have lunch detention for back talking and for lying." She said, "I'm not lying. That wasn't my hands. It was my butt." So the way they do lunch detention, they have to talk about what they did the next day. So I kind of told her a little bit about what to say, and she did, and let me tell you, it was funny. When asked why she was in lunch detention, because you can imagine the shock on everyone's face seeing her that doesn't get in trouble in lunch detention, she proceeds to say that she's in lunch detention for farting. They just started laughing and looked at her, and she said, "But she accused me of it being my hands." She said, "And it wasn't my hands, it came from my butt, and I could not hold it in. She wouldn't let me go to the bathroom, so I tooted." So she officially can say she got lunch detention for farting, and she got selected for best all around in the yearbook, and I told her they should probably change that to the Rootin' Tootin' Bandit. I said, "Hey, last year at that school, got to go out with a bang." She said, "No, Mommy, more like a toot toot."